Okay, so we have all the pistons in the engine except for the last one, which is number 8, and I did want to include in the video what you need to know on how to put the rings on it and everything, and they do go on a certain way. These are Speed Pro brand rings, plasma moly for the top ring, cast ring for the second, like I covered in the previous video. Now there's a certain way these go in. Here's the top ring, the plasma moly, and it tells you right here, top rings conventional, which is what I have. There's 3 different types. If a ring has a dot or a laser mark, install that side up. I don't have a dot or a laser mark. My old ones I think had the dot. Unmarked rings with inner bevel are installed bevel side up. Okay, this one has an inner bevel. You can feel it. It's not very much, but compared to the other side, which has a sharp edge, here's your bevel. And also, on the same side of the bevel is I think it's a part number. So that number there tells you that it's number side up and bevel side up for the top ring. Now, for the second ring, here's what you got to watch. You don't want to read this quick and think both rings bevel side up. Here's your non-gapless conventional second and third rings. This is a second ring, of course, and mine are non-gapless conventional. Unmarked rings with an inner bevel, install bevel side down on the second ring. And here's my second ring, cast ring. The small bevel is on here, this side, and there's also a part number on the opposite side right there. So part number faces up towards the top of the piston, and on second ring, bevel down, top ring, bevel up. Got to pay close attention because it's easy to get in a hurry and put those on upside down. So in the oil rings, it doesn't matter which way they go or which one goes on top or bottom of the spacer. So let's put some rings on this thing and get that last piston in. Okay, I'm going to start with the oil rings. I always dip my rings in transmission fluid because that's what I was told a long time ago by an experienced engine builder. It helps them seat better. I've done it to every engine since I was told that. And they always seat right away with hardly any smoke except for what oil is already in the engine from assembly. Now, there's something else I need to show you on the spacing your ring gaps out. I can get this on here without destroying it. These are kind of tricky. You got to go from one groove to the other, and you don't want to get too crazy with them. And you can break these pretty easy. Kind of go from one groove to the other and work them down. We want to get this one below the spacer. Make sure that tension ring is not overlapping. Now I'm going to slide it up and get it on the bottom side of the tensioner. And I'm going to put that ring gap right here. Now this big valve relief is towards the front of the engine. I got my number 8, which faces the side of the engine, which means the cylinder, when the engine's right side up, this is the top part of the cylinder, meaning if it's on a 45. And you want your oil ring gaps towards that top. Now, I think the idea of that is, you gotta let gravity kind of keep the oil away from the ring gap. Keep the ring gap on the top where less oil is likely to collect. I guess that's the principle behind it, but I'll show you the diagram and it shows the ring spacing. I'm terrible at explaining things, so bear with me on that. Now let's see if I can explain it better by showing you the diagram. Okay, as you can see, okay, like I said, the big valve is on the front of the engine on this side. So this would be towards the middle of the engine, this side. And as you can see, they're showing oil ring gap here and here like I have. And then you have your top compression ring gap on this side, second compression ring which is the cast ring towards the middle of the engine. And that's what they recommend on that. So now with the second compression ring, which I'm going to put bevel side down, part number up, just like I explained. Put that down in that second groove. It's towards the middle of the engine, center of the block, middle of the block, however you want to say it. Now we got top ring, bevel side up, part number up. And we want to make sure rings slide in and out of that groove freely. We don't want them sticking on us. That's why in the last video I included at the end that you got to deburr those edges after you do the ring filing. So there's that. Let's see, we need to put our bearing in here. We'll dip that piston down in that transmission fluid, just like that. And I already have my bearing on my rod cap. Make sure there's no dirt underneath there. I don't want no oil between the bearing and the rod, because that part does not spin on anything, but stays stationary in the rod. And you take that little tab right there, if you can see that. Maybe you can't. Can you see it now? I hope. There's a little tab right there. Make sure that's in there like that. Then we take some assembly oil. I'll adjust the camera here. Bit on there. A bit there. Just spread it out with a clean finger. No dirt, no grit on your finger. None of that's allowed in your bearings. Causes scratches, and if it's big enough, it can cause it to grab and spin a bearing. You don't want that. And one more thing I want to do. You've already oiled up a wrist pin pretty good. I'm going to add a little more oil to it. I just got some regular 10W40 here. Synthetic. Spray it on that wrist pin there. Work it in. Don't want to put it together dry. Now we're ready to stick this in the engine. Okay, I'm getting ready to put the last piston in. I've already cleaned off the exposed crank journal with this rod bearings going on. Put a little bit of assembly lube on it too, even though I've already put it on the bearings, so I can coat all surfaces. Make sure there's no dirt or grit on it, of course. And we're going to, in order to put this in the way it came out, like I said earlier, when they said it was disassembled, these rods have already been stamped. cylinder number 8. I'm stamped 8 on this rod and the cap. I want it facing the outside of the engine. And just like the directions said, O-ring gap. I have one here and here. The top piston ring gap is here. The second compression ring is there. And I want to kind of line up turn my rod where it's lined up straight to where the end of it is. Got my old ring compressor. I bought it from a little privately owned auto parts store in J-Town way back when I built my first engine. I was like 17, back in 1983, might have been 84, senior year of high school. Built my first engine with this ring compressor and still have it. Still works good. It's called J-Town Auto Parts. So really good quality stuff. Not open anymore. They turned into a car quest after the original owner died. It was a cool old auto parts shop because I can remember when the original owner was still managing the place. He had all the old books. He had stuff on the shelf from cars from the 50s. It's pretty neat to just talk to that old guy. Sometimes he would cross-reference stuff and tell you this would fit a 57 Chevy or Ford. It's the same thing as what you're looking for. And the old guy just had all that memorized. It was amazing. Something else I like to do when I go to tapping this down in here is to have my rod journal all the way down to where it'd be on bottom dead center. That way you can see that your rod is heading in the right direction. If you got it way up top, you got a chance of actually hooking a sharp corner on the crank, marking the crank. You could also accidentally hit that bearing and knock it out of the groove, which would not be a good thing. This way you can take the finger and guide it all the way down. As you can see, I need to spin it a little bit. Maybe you can't see it. My knee in the way. You never want to force these things together. If something don't feel right, make sure everything's lined up so it goes together easy. Feels like my bearing stayed in place. Check for dirt again. Make sure number 8 and number 8 are both showing on the same side here. And on these rods, it's obvious. You can see there's a radius here and a shorter radius here. The longer radius goes towards the crank side, as you can see that one flipped around. It goes towards the outer side of the journal, I guess is how I should say it. ARP bolts back in. Those are expensive bolts. So snug these down for now. Make sure my engine spins over good. Each time you put one on, you want to roll it over and make sure nothing is binding. And now I need to find my torque wrench. .45 foot-pounds is already set. And after I flip this engine over, I will go over all of these. there it is. All 8 pistons in it. Okay, just thought I better recheck all of them. Everything spins over good. I don't see any dirt or debris. Now the next thing we got to do is we got to modify the timing gear, because this has the Torrentine cam thrust bearing kit on the front. Remember me putting it on earlier when I put the cam in our earlier video? So we got to modify the cam gear for that, and we'll put the timing chaining gears on, and we need to check to see if the cam is degreed right, 102 intake center line or whatever. I'll explain that later. I'm not very good at explaining that stuff. I can do it better than I can explain it. Put it that way. But before I cover this engine up, we'll go ahead and take some more of this transmission fluid and wipe down the cylinders that are exposed. Most of that transmission fluid will bleed down past the range and rain down onto the floor until the oil pan's on it. Just want to keep them coated. So, nothing gets rusty. Cheap garbage bags. These days I need to think about it. I need to pick up some big, tougher, thicker garbage bags meant for lawn blades, grass clippings, and stuff like that. They're bigger, fit over the engine better, but this will work for now. Keep the dust and dirt from sticking to the oily surfaces there. So anyway, thanks for watching. That's all the rotating assembly, and there will be more.